Why is consciousness so important? Why is consciousness so important? We talk so much about consciousness. Let me see what comes out of this call. Sip Renuka AiR, Sip Nimi, Sip Sachin, Sip Sita, Sip Anil, Sip Atmanand, Sip Jyoti, Sip Rumataji, Sip Krishna, Sip Sadanand, Sip Harshal, Sip Chotwani, Sip Girija, Sip Ahem, Sip Anand, Sip Siri, Sip Ahem Atma, Sip Premchand, Sip Samatma, Sip Sagai, Sip Bliss, Sip Prakash, Sip Parvati Amma, Sip Gigi, Sip Shayad, Sip Chidanand, Sip Girishanand, Sip Yogini, Sip Lakshmi, Sip Soham, Sip Shiva, Sip Sukhi, Sip Krishnanamma. So with that note, we are going to go on to starting the most important hour of my life, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Ask AiR. Questions that can enlighten, questions that can awaken. But it is like a course of antibiotics. A course of antibiotics does not work. If you take one random tablet of antibiotic, it can't work. If you want an antibiotic to work, you must take it as a course. Correct? So the doctor will tell you 3 tablets a day or 2 tablets a day, 3 days, 5 days. So we must use the spiritual journey in a consistent manner. Rutanu, Aham, Sip, Krishna. Rutanu, Aham, Sip, and Krishna. Let us start.
Shivoham, Guruji.
Shivoham.
Guruji, we should remain in consciousness so that we are not in the circus. हम सर्कस में नहीं फंसते हैं और हम सच्चिदानंद में रह सकते हैं if we remain in consciousness.
Do you remember I said this has a connection with the previous subject? What is the previous subject you remember? Who remembers what was Thursday topic?
Prabhu se connect. Thursday topic was on thoughts.
What was it? What was it? Can we reach a state where there will be no thoughts, correct?
Yes,
Can
yes,
we reach
yes,
a state where, good, at least you remember. So what is the state of no thoughts? Is it consciousness or it's not consciousness? We said that we will do on Monday. And that state is what we call a state of samadhi. Correct?
Correct.
So tell me, what do you think?
I think we should remain in consciousness so that we are not. What I thought was that we should be in consciousness, we should be in the present moment, and we should be aware of our thoughts.
Okay, answer is not wrong, but go deeper. Try to go deeper because, as I told you, we are doing 3 sessions. One session, what we spoke about that day was about thoughts. I'm just looking at that session. Can we reach a state where there will be no thoughts? Then we said, no, we can't reach that state. Of course, there will be periods, sushupti, in the time of samadhi, in the time of deep sleep, we spoke of that. But, and coma, somebody brought, Atmanand was supposed to come with coma. Atmanand, are you ready with the preparation? Otherwise, please, Atmanand told he took homework, but he has forgotten. I think he has lost his consciousness. He went into mind state, he forgot. Memory, therefore, memory can get lost in mind. Memory is that. Okay, so good. Rutanu, anything more you want to say?
No, Guruji, and Guruji, one more thing. I wanted blessings for my daughter. She's appearing in 10th standard.
Please tell her that you are blessed and you will get as many marks as you study.
Yes, Guruji.
Tell her, has she looked at all the previous year's question papers?
She's doing that, but for the next exam, she's little nervous, I think.
If please give me a message if she has looked at last 3 years question papers. That is very important. And
yeah, she's looking at the question papers actually.
If she studies the last 3 years question papers, she will do well. Simple thing. Ahimsa.
Shivoham Guruji, I bow down with my reverence to everyone on the call. Guruji, consciousness, it's very important because this is the only tool with which we can control our biggest enemy, mind. We can discriminate and get rid of our toxic thoughts. And only in consciousness, we can judge between right and wrong, this or that. So consciousness is the key of our happiness, Satchitanand. Key of spirituality is being in consciousness.
Very beautiful answer. Unfortunately, I got something in my head which is in addition to what you said. But if you repeat in small, brief, what you said, what are the key points you said in consciousness? Okay. You want to come back? What are the key points you said in consciousness? What are the two, three key points you said? One?
Yes. One is that only when we are in consciousness, we can kill our biggest enemy, mind.
So one, you can kill your mind. Two?
Yes, we can discriminate between right and wrong.
Through intellect.
And whether this or that also we can contemplate only in consciousness. Yeah,
that is the same.
Yeah, and this is the key factor for our spiritual journey.
Very good answer. You have given two very good answers, but I think there is more. Let us see. Krishna, thank you for breaking the... So Ahimsa has given two answers in consciousness. One, that when you're in consciousness, you can just kill the mind. And two, you can activate the intellect. So like this, and then discriminate. So she has given good points. Let me see. We have Krishna, Siva, Nichani, Shair, Will. I'm sure we have some interesting masters giving us ideas. Krishna.
Yes, sir, Shivoham.
Shivoham.
Sir, this consciousness, I think, is the most important keyword you have given us, because only if we live in this truth consciousness, we will experience that eternal bliss you are always talking and transcend the triple suffering. So I think this is a what you call a climb towards enlightenment, or to understand the truth of who am I, because I am that consciousness.
Very, very important. Krishna took the consciousness to the word Chit in Sat Chit. She said only with Chit can the Sat Chit Anand happen. So without the Chit, Sat is of no use. You have the truth, you know the truth, everybody knows the truth. Who doesn't know the truth? Everybody knows the truth.
And a very easy technique you have taught us is, when I'm in Krishna, I suffer. And when I'm in Krishna, it is I'm in truth consciousness.
Not only you, I suffer, I'm telling you. Whenever I'm not in consciousness, I suffer. To the present day, the moment I lose consciousness, I suffer. The moment I am in consciousness. So you added a very beautiful point. Ahimsa said, in consciousness, one, we kill the mind. There's no mind. Basically, you don't kill the mind. Ahimsa, I'm just changing that. So when you reach a state of consciousness, the first point Ahimsa said, the moment you're in consciousness, there is no mind. Correct, Ahimsa? I hope I can correct that. We don't have to kill the mind. So because you cannot kill the mind, because you still the mind, there is no conscious, there's no mind. Second, she said, that you activate the intellect. And third, Krishna said that you create eternal happiness. Because these are very key points you have learned.
No longer the body, mind, intellect, body, mind, ego.
And Krishna said one more point. She said fourth point, which I don't want to ignore. So the third point, she said Satchit Ananda. And the fourth point, only in consciousness there is realization. Correct? You said that also, right? Without yeah. So there are four important points you all have brought about. Good, very good. Let me see where when I start the call, I start very.
A question at the end of the call. Though I'm saying this, I have a question at the end of the call.
To do with some other subject or consciousness.
No, same. Because all these days, all these days I am contemplating on mind and consciousness. So I have a question at the end of the call.
You prefer to ask it at the end, right?
Yeah, because let me listen to the
call. Sure. Please. And then don't forget to ask, because you must never deprive a question. If a question slips, means it's gone. Then the question goes into the so don't mix the question. Siva, Nichani, Shair, Will. Chidanand.
Shivoham Guruji. What Sip said is mind, consciousness. If we are in consciousness, we can kill the mind. That means we activate our intellect. So whatever we are aware of, thoughts, emotions, and all our objects, consciousness, it is neti neti, which is neti neti. We have to say neti neti for all the objects that we see. That is a object consciousness, I will say that. But I am a conscious being, pure consciousness, which is not mixed up with this object. Pure consciousness, of course, consciousness is pervading all over, but the pure consciousness is not mixed up with the object. And so that is why when we are in consciousness, we can be in soulful as said, and I can be still in silence.
So you are saying many things, but now tell me specifically what point I should capture. Why is consciousness so important? Is that right? So important. Why is consciousness important?
See, that day, I remember this Thursday when I said, can we reach a state where there will be no thought? I said consciousness. Said there are two consciousness, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. So even in consciousness, I told you, even in consciousness, thought will come. Yes,
that is we are aware of that awareness. We are aware of that object. That consciousness is different. But whereas when I'm in consciousness, I go deep into it. That who am I and what am I? All these questions come to my mind, and that is pure consciousness, which is not mixed up with the objects.
So that is what we are trying to call it, samadhi. We are trying to give a term for the first time. We are trying to give a term on Monday. We will try to talk of it. We are trying to talk about. We are giving it a name. We have never given it a title. For the first time, I think I'm giving it a title of thoughtlessness. We want to call it samadhi because we have to give it some title. Because otherwise, in a state of samadhi, you are in that state where you're in oblivion. You're in complete nothingness, but in consciousness there is awareness. So we are talking of two different states, Siva. One state of consciousness, if a thought comes, then you watch that thought. Yes. But in the state of samadhi, you are unable to watch a thought. You have lost the capability of watching a thought. You are lost. You are completely lost.
Yes, there is no mind, absolutely no mind and nothing.
There's no mind, there's no thought also.
There is no thought also. Yes.
So I don't know whether technically it's right or not, but I'm calling it a state of samadhi because samadhi has got 10 different definitions. If you go to Google, you will find 10 different definitions of samadhi. Okay, and then they say samadhi is also sometimes say samadhi ho gaya means mar gaya. Sometimes samadhi is even used in that terms. Some people they say he has gone in samadhi. So let us see. Thank you, Ashok Nichani.
Sure, Sarji.
Yes, Shivoham.
Sarji, consciousness gives us the awareness. It activates our intellect, and it gives us knowledge to take the right decisions.
So many of the points are repeated. Which is the point which is not repeated? You want to say?
It makes take the right decisions.
That is already Ahimsip told. It will activate the intellect to discriminate. Anything more you are telling I should capture?
No, Saji, it will block the mind and lock the mind, stop the mind to a certain
Actually, you can say you can block the mind, but in reality, when you are in consciousness, there's no chance for the mind to come. If the mind has come, means the consciousness is gone. It's like I told you, if the day comes, night is gone. If the night comes, day is gone.
Right.
So the day does not have to block the night, or the night does not have to block the day. One of the two appears.
But we can take the right decisions. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Ahimsip is already told.
Otherwise, our mind will bombard us and we'll gather all the garbage from the outside.
So Ashok, again, I'm asking you for a fresh way. Why is consciousness so important, Ashok?
To be in Satchit Anand, Sarji.
So we have already got 4 answers. One, it's important because it's a state of no mind. Second, it's important because you activate intellect to discriminate. Third, it's important because you reach a state of Satchit Anand. Fourth, it's important because in consciousness, there's realization. We have got 4 concrete answers. Now we want to add the 5th.
The best path to reach enlightenment.
Okay, good. Said the realization. Shair. Thank you, Ashok. Thank you, Shair and Will. Shair, Will, Chidanand, and Spark.
Prabhu Shivoham, your question
Shivoham.
is why should we be in consciousness always?
Question is, why is consciousness so important?
Because it is important to be in consciousness, otherwise we cannot answer your questions. Then
How can you answer my question if you're not in consciousness?
that's why consciousness
Impossible.
is very important. And second, I wrote it because there are only 2 states. You are in consciousness or you are in mind state.
Correct.
So that this and that will not work if you are in mind state.
Correct. Mind will only tell you. Mind will only tell you that and that and
Yeah.
that and that and that and that.
And mind is
will not.
all is NEP only. Very
Correct.
difficult for mind to come to PEP. It will start with NEP only always.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So I'm adding one more point. I think I'm adding one more point. Nobody has said this, I think. So consciousness is PEP. Why it's important? I'm picking one important point as per thing. So 5th point I've captured. Consciousness is PEP.
Sir,
Because when there's no consciousness, automatically there is mind, and if there is no mind, automatically there is NEP. But it is important if you always want to be positive, if you always want to be with faith, hope, trust, enthusiasm, courage, confidence, optimism, patience, forgiveness, then you must be in consciousness.
sir, another thing which I feel important is because only 1% of people are in consciousness. 99% are spiritually blind.
Actually, 99% don't even know the meaning of consciousness.
So I want to be the 1% successful person.
Yeah. When I talk to people, yesterday I was having one meeting with CEOs. They don't. What is the meaning of consciousness? They will tell you conscious mind and subconscious mind. That they will tell you. They are all well-schooled people, very well-schooled. But consciousness, when you're in consciousness, where does negativity come from? All negativity is rooted from MIND, misery, ignorance, negativity, and desire. All negativity comes from toxic thoughts of the mind. So very good point, Shahid. Anything more? Otherwise, I will invite. Yes.
One more thing was, like you said about consciousness, we cannot tell anyone our experience. He has to experience our experience, then only he will come to me.
Correct. But that is a benefit of consciousness. It's correct, but it's a later point. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Will and Chidanand. Some Manjak sir, not sure. Benny. Will and, but not sure. Will and Chidanand. Sometimes you have to check in and then check out. Will?
Shivo Hangset, thanks for this.
Sure.
Yeah, we're getting through the list.
Yes, sir.
There are many. I think there are lists. I think now we're on to the secondary benefits, but there are benefits like yoga. The 4 yogas are possible really only with consciousness. That's where yoga begins. Also, prema begins with consciousness. And also, one becomes a proper servant of SIP in consciousness. And I think one overcomes the self, the selfishness in consciousness. And a factor I don't think you talk much about, but I think that the body itself, it's healthier for the body to be in consciousness because as a secondary benefit, because the mind is inactive, then the body health improves, I think. So these are the things I can think of. But
are you fully in consciousness or are you in chat GPT consciousness?
No, don't ask. No, I'm
because you seem to be having some very dynamic answers today. Where did all these dynamic answers study? So many dynamic answers.
Oh, thank you.
Huh? So let's catch what you remember your answers. I hope one by one. Can we go slowly so everybody benefits by your answers?
I think the first point I made was yoga. I said there are 4 yogas.
Beautiful. I love your first point. So consciousness, without consciousness, you cannot be in yoga. Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. I like it. Then you went like a train. You went gada 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 gada, and one you came with a very dynamic point. You know what very dynamic point you came?
I think well, I said various things, but I said to be a proper servant of SIP, you really need to be in consciousness. This is a proper servant. Then
What else? No, that will come in. One more thing you said.
I said also you should be free of the ego, the self.
Wait. So only in consciousness can you have an enlightened ego.
Yes.
Only in consciousness can you have an enlightened ego. So Will has come with another. I thought there were only 1 or 2 points. I've already got 7. So I'm just trying to repeat. Sid gave 2 points. She said, no mind and activate intellect. Krishna said Satchidanand, and she said realization. Then came, I think, Shayad, if my consciousness is correct, saying pep. Then came Will saying yoga and enlightened ego. Have I captured? And I'm not writing it down. So I'm in consciousness with 7 points. What an amazing, you see, 1 hour can be life transforming.
I think
hour.
Consciousness, there are many secondary benefits. I can't think of them all, but all
No, I'm only picking primary benefits. If it's something, you said 1 more. I don't know whether it's a good point, but I don't know whether you can say it. Let me just. You said only in consciousness can you have a healthy body.
Yes, I said that.
But I'm not sure whether I should add it as a primary thing, because the body is health. So what to do with body? I mean, of course, if you don't have healthy body, you can't come to this call. There are some people who tell me, Guruji cannot come to call. Guruji, body is not okay, health is not okay. So sorry, I am so sorry. Somebody goes to ICU, somebody is admitted in hospital, somebody's gone to a doctor. But is that to do with consciousness? Or it's like you said, it's a secondary. Why is consciousness so important? It's not that you're not in consciousness. You're saying if you're not in consciousness, you'll become in mind state, ego state, then your body will fall sick. So it's a secondary benefit. Okay, Will?
Well, I think there's various energy systems in the bodies. There's the Kundalini, the Prana, the Shakti, and these things. If you're not in consciousness, I think it affects these energy systems. I think your body can become all kinds of traumatized because you're messing around on that level. You shouldn't be in there. I think.
But do you think that happens directly, or it happens through the mind and ego?
Oh, I don't know.
It happens through the mind and ego. All the negative energies coming either from the 7 miseries of the mind or the 7 agonies of the ego. These create those toxic energies in the body, not directly. So if you eliminate mind and you enlighten the ego will, then there is no problem in the body. The body is fine.
There is I mentioned the issue of prema. I don't know whether you include
Prema
that.
comes under yoga. Prema is not only in when you're in. What is prema? Prema is union between soul and soul, and that is prema yoga. It is covered under yoga.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
For example, you may say consciousness. Somebody may tell me equals to peace. Correct? Of course, it equals to peace. But where does peace come from? When there is no mind. So I can't add the word mind also and peace also. Actually, that word pep also comes when there's no mind. But I accepted that word because in consciousness, whether the mind is there or not, this pep, it blooms, it blossoms in consciousness. So I accepted it because it was a very important point, and Shire brought it about. Thank you, Will, for your amazing inputs. Chidanand.
Hello, Shivam
Yes,
Guruji.
Shivam Guruji.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point. When consciousness is always there, because that is the only true absolute reality. It is only when we still the mind, the consciousness is, the intellect is able to recognize it. But intellect always has reflected consciousness. And that is where it is able to discriminate the thoughts when they come, when the mind is still. So that impulse, I think, can also be in yoga once we reach the dharana and dhyana. Because in dharana and dhyan, automatically the thought impulses also can be slowed down That's what the yogic path says. So anything that we experience has to be experienced by the intellect. And that is the part, I think, what Sip Shiva was trying to say, that it is reflected consciousness that can experience. Because
Correct. But now you're,
consciousness being a
no,
substratum,
yeah,
it cannot, it is what it is. It can't be, it has to be realized, or aproksha, anubhuti happens, but feeling, moment there's experience means it is reflected consciousness in the mind, in the intellect. If it is
whatever,
negative thoughts, nap comes, then its mind immediately activates.
so whatever you're saying is correct. But now there are 7 points have come about. Why is consciousness important? Are you giving the 8th point?
Yes, the whatever points that we have heard, I personally thought it is the reflected consciousness, because
Okay.
all the time we're talking about intellect discriminating, coming into pep and realizing. But so ultimate samadhi is even the thought impulses can be when the intellect also is able to hold on, or when you say lock, at
But
that point of
Chidaran,
time there is a I'm
Chidaran,
confused at that stage.
we are talking on samadhi on Monday. Today is not samadhi. So we are not discussing samadhi.
Yeah, so yeah, then that's the point. Because I think I don't because I have not reached the state of samadhi, so it's very difficult to
No,
express it.
you can imagine that state of samadhi as I tell you. We are talking on Monday. I won't discuss it too much today. But a
Mm.
state where you lose consciousness of consciousness.
Yes, the reflection goes away, and you are Sajjit Ananda only.
Yeah, you lose awareness of consciousness. You lose
Conscious.
awareness of the
Yes,
body, of the
yes,
mind, of the ego. So you kind of although you're not sleeping, you have reached a state of nothingness. There is even no thought.
yes, exactly.
But today we are trying to see why is consciousness so important?
Then, Guruji, I have a question here. When we reach that, is it because of grace that we reach a place of a stage of no thoughts? Because
Grace
there is
is
no
on
element
everybody.
of identity controlling. No, at that
Grace is on.
stage.
I'll explain to you. So when you reach a state of consciousness, and in the state of consciousness, you are able to activate the intellect, you still the mind, you kill the mind, you lock it, you block it, you're in that state. You are in a state of slow MTR. Then in that state, when you're a yogi, when you're in yoga, and you're lost in union, and in that state, when you can start doing meditation, then in that state of consciousness and meditation becomes nothingness. That means the thoughts will come, maybe a thought will come to you after 10 minutes. That means if the thought came to you after 10 minutes, for 10 minutes you are in samadhi.
Absolute
Sometimes
silence. Yeah.
a thought may come to you after 1 hour, but I don't believe a thought can come to you after 24 hours, because you may feel thirsty,
No, no.
you may feel hungry, you may feel thirsty, you may
Yes.
have nature's call. So I believe that it's only a limited amount of time that a person can be in samadhi. This is my
Yeah,
understanding.
because it is a state, and anything that is a state has to be limited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Jalanand. Spark. We have who's Spark? Ah, Spark. Yes, sir. आपका नया नाम आ गया क्या? स्पार्क. हाँ, बोलो. पवन. पवन है ना? अनम्यूट करो. पवन अनम्यूट पवन. कभी कभी आजकल स्पार्क दिखता है, स्पार्क तो दिखता नहीं. हाँ, अनम्यूट पवन. स्पार्क प्लीज अनम्यूट. आपका अनम्यूट नहीं हो रहा है. अदर गो टू आत्मानंद. इट्स नॉट अनम्यूटिंग. प्लीज अनम्यूट आत्मानंद.
Shivam Guruji.
शिवम सर.
I think Will mentioned my point about yoga. Otherwise, I said otherwise you'll be in yoga. So that point is covered. The other one I feel is only in consciousness you can live as a divine instrument. So maybe Ladi is the other as input I had from my side.
But that happens when your ego is enlightened, or you think it's not there. We already have 2 points. Krishna said in consciousness realization happens. Will said in consciousness that the ego is enlightened. So should we add this point that in consciousness?
It's a sub point, but yeah, it came to me. I just wanted to share.
Actually, you are quite right. In consciousness, there are 2 points coming in that 1 point. I'm saying you are. I'll change your word with your permission. In consciousness, you become karma free. So I'm saying Ladi, but I'm just changing the word to help you because when you're a Ladi, you're karma free.
Or should we say, normally the word we use is transcend karma, right? So shall we say that?
Yeah. You can say you transcend karma. Good.
Okay.
I'll give it to you, back to you. So transcend karma, point number 8. Because otherwise, not in consciousness, you will keep on doing karma. And it's not a sub point, it's a direct point. So we've got 8 points now.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have got after Siba, Girija, Rekha, Ahem Atma, Renuka, Krishna, Rumataji, Sip, Rajananda. Oh, many to go. We have a lot of 30 minutes. Sometimes nowadays I think you people have no fuel. You have no questions. Sometimes I start thinking I should ask here half an hour. We cut it back to, from instead of 1 hour, we should make it half an hour if you don't have enough questions. Siba.
Pranam Guruji, in consciousness, we start seeing sip in all, Guruji. And you don't build karma. I have written that also.
Wait. Sipinol is a beautiful point, but whether it's a, how come we have missed this point? Is it a duplicate of any point, Sipinol? Or it's a new point?
Sir, Guruji, I have realized today, Guruji, with your divine bhajan today, Guruji, that Om Namah Shivaya.
You would? So beautiful point, Sipinol. I take Siba's point. आप तो आज consciousness में आ गई.
Guruji, वो भजन ने मुझे consciousness में लाया, मालूम है? I saw Sipinol today, Guruji.
कौन सा भजन?
वो कल आप सुखदेव के साथ you were singing, Guruji, it was 2 बहुत sweet भजन है. And इतना divine feeling आता है, Guruji, वो सुनने के बाद. And you feel all the, I don't know what is there in that voice. Both of you are too good. Hats off to you.
Okay, Girija, Guruji, thank you.
Guruji, one more point. You heal.
Point number 9. Point number 9.
And you heal yourself.
In consciousness, you SLS. You see Sipinol, you love Sipinol, you serve Sipinol.
And one more point. You heal yourself and you grow. So it's the best way to kill the negativity.
Points are covered. Girija, thank you.
Guruji, one more thing I have to say. Guruji, we know everything. We are in satsang, we are in the street. We enjoy consciousness like anything, Guruji. But why it happens that when we are in the family amongst 4 people, or when we go outside, why we cannot stay in consciousness, Guruji?
Because you go to mind state. The moment you are with people, you lose consciousness.
But this is not the way, na, Guruji. We have to stay here with 4 people because Guruji.
That's how come you don't lose consciousness when you're in this call?
I don't know, Guruji. I don't know.
Because in this call you are in satsang.
हाँ, that is only, Guruji. पर कभी-कभी क्या होता है, Guruji? If बहुत सब कुछ होने के बाद then we are mind state में जाके फिर we are in the consciousness. Guruji,
now let's come back to consciousness. Okay, Siba, Girija.
Okay.
Girija and Rekha. Good point, Siba. Siba said SLS. Point number 9.
Shivam, Guruji.
Shivoham.
When you are in consciousness, you realize that you are a divine soul, which is the energy.
Yeah. That's covered, but Krishna said realization.
Realization. Okay. Rest, so everybody has said, you find inner peace and purpose of life.
Because when you are in no mind state, then you find peace. Also, sub point.
The purpose of life also.
Again, when you realize, then you can find the purpose of life. When the ego is enlightened, you find out who am I.
Rest, so everybody has said, Guruji.
So good points, but they're all sub points. They're good points, but they're related to some point which people have said. Okay, so I'm not taking a new point. Good, Girija, but you are in consciousness. That's very good. Rekha.
Shivoham AiR.
Shivoham and Rekha. Ahem Atma Renuka.
In consciousness, we are in total bliss, so we can help others also to come into this total bliss. Like
that's okay, because but total bliss is already covered by Krishna. Satchidananda.
No, I said in total bliss, because we are in bliss, we can help the others also to come into this, to
How can you help
That we don't-
others? How can you
by
help somebody who's in, how can you help somebody who's in a mind state? Please show me how you can help.
not that way. Today, like I have an experience today. My dear one, like I could help because I was in consciousness.
You could help because you were in consciousness, or you could help because even they were in consciousness.
No, only because I was, and maybe because of my no reaction on my side always. Like other, like
But it's not always possible to help with your in
not
consciousness,
always,
help
but
others.
I could explain to them to be in the state.
So you can explain because your intellect is active, but not, you can't change their consciousness. Please understand.
No, we can't change their consciousness, but I could just help them because
Definitely. That's
I
a
was
sub
not
point.
in the mind state.
Yeah, that's a sub point. Okay, Rekha, anything new? Anything more?
This only we come from.
Okay, it's a good point. It's a good point, but not a. It's called a sub point. We are talking of sub point. It's not a main point. Thank you, Ahem Atma Renuka.
Yeah, Guruji. Good evening, Guruji. The coincident happening, whatever topic you are choosing, I am reading the book now, Neti Neti Tattvamasi. I have an answer. We are talking about consciousness, but you discussed about one important point. What is real consciousness? That word you have used in this book, actually.
I don't remember. I don't remember. What am I saying?
I'm just in, because the same page I was going through that. There are three states of consciousness. One is waking, dreaming, and sleep. There is one another word. Let me read from your book in your own wordings. Chaturyam, we are talking about samadhi, but I feel that this word is very apt. Chaturyam or turyam, for the sake of preciousness, is the real consciousness that we are. But we don't realize this. But what is real consciousness also you are saying in that? Real consciousness is when we realize that we are the divine Atman, the soul or the spirit, then we become conscious that we are the witness. That witnessing consciousness is the real consciousness that you are saying. And one example you have given, one station master is flogging of 3 trains.
Correct. Everybody knows that I have spoken on this from many times, Krishnan. So what you're saying is good.
The point what I'm saying, very within a minute I'm completing. I know that a lot of persons are in the queue for giving their opinion. Just only 1 minute. We are talking about the consciousness, but I came to know that the real consciousness, how to distinguish between the mind consciousness and the real consciousness. The real consciousness is the witnessing consciousness that I have understood. That is the one thing.
That is only the real consciousness.
That is only the real consciousness. When we are in the real consciousness, when waking stage, when we are in consciousness, that is not the real consciousness.
No.
That observing stage, when we are in the waking stage, when we are in the observing stage, that is the real consciousness. Even in the dream stage or in the sleep stage also, I slept like a log, when a person says. That also the real consciousness is the witnessing consciousness.
No, you are a very good jigyasu. You are a very good jigyasu because you are reading every day.
Then I'm coming to the current question. Why consciousness is important? One madam was telling.
Nikhil Kamath books and balls. Yes.
I talked about the real consciousness, which is the witnessing consciousness in all 3 stages. Now I'm coming to your question. Why consciousness is important? You yourself, you have given the answer in your book. We are that Turyam, the 4th state of consciousness, which is the real consciousness. When we live as the witness or in the observer, we experience a state of bliss.
Correct.
That unification, liberation and all, after death it will happen. That is no problem. But Satya Chitta Ananda, that is the ultimate purpose. What as a group we wanted is, we have to escape from the pain of the body, misery of the mind, the agony of the ego. That is the ultimate purpose. Of course, the unification with the divine is the ultimate goal that we can experience only after death.
Next time when I'm in a plane for 1 hour in the flight, next time I will ask you to speak.
No.
You can give lecture for 1 hour.
No. This is not lecture. This I am realizing.
You are very talking. I am saying you are talking such good things. What am I telling?
Yeah. Why consciousness is important is that we will attain an uninterrupted bliss without any contamination. We can overcome the pain of the body, misery of the mind, and also the agony of the ego when we are in the real consciousness, the witnessing consciousness.
Absolutely right. So today, have you captured? We have got 9 important points. Have you captured all the 9 points? Or not yet? If you have not captured, please capture. Okay, Renuka. Renuka.
Shivoham AiR.
Shivoham.
Most of the points are already mentioned by people. What I have to say is consciousness is important. As being in consciousness, we will be able to realize Atman, soul, the spark of unique life, and it helps us in connecting to SIP. If we practice to be in consciousness, it will lead us to enlightenment.
Beautiful. So is there, you think, is it all come in some points or it's not come?
I think it is covered, but in a pieces, but I have put it together.
No, so repeat what you said once, just let me see if I can.
Consciousness is important. As being in consciousness, we will be able to realize Atman or soul, which is spark of unique life, and it helps us in connecting to SIP. If
So
we
soul,
practice
have you
to
brought
be
about
in
soul part or no?
consciousness, if we practice to be in consciousness,
but have you brought soul as a point? Consciousness, realization. Realization. But what realization is the soul?
Realize it has come. It has been. I think Krishna has
actually what you're saying. Yeah, it is. Realization is nothing but realizing we are the soul.
Yeah.
But you're saying it. I wish I had put the word soul into it. But let us see how to add it later. Continue, please. And what else?
Yeah, consciousness, we will be able to realize Atman or soul, spark of unique life, and it helps us in connecting to SIP. If we practice to be in consciousness, it will lead us to enlightenment.
So what you said, so I'm adding the word soul to realization. I'm adding the word soul realization. It is only consciousness that can lead to soul realization. I'm adding that word. Okay, since I want the word soul to come. And what you said, we can always be connected. You said something that is already there as yoga. That is already there as yoga. And enlightenment is also covered because it is part of realization and part of SLS. Then we are able to see SIP in all, love SIP in all, and serve SIP in all.
Yeah.
But you have put it in a very nice way. I like the way you have put it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because it shows, again, you are in consciousness. That's very important.
Thank you.
Thank you. Krishna, then Rumataji.
So mine is a question, basically. Yes, because you have said consciousness itself is living with, living as a divine soul, because consciousness comes from the soul. Right. But you have used by now, bahut sara consciousness terms have been used. I just read out. You have taught us soul consciousness, SIP consciousness, reverence consciousness, now witness consciousness, now reflected consciousness.
I don't use the word reflect. I normally don't use the word reflected consciousness for information.
Okay. So, but witness consciousness, may I ask you 2 questions I have? One is witness consciousness. Does that mean there is no slipping down? There is no reversal?
Witness consciousness means in that consciousness, in your consciousness, you're witnessing. Which means that you go one step back. You go back and you watch your mind, you watch your body, you watch your family, you watch everybody. You become a witness in consciousness. In that consciousness, you are able to be the observer. Here, observer comes same. So are you clear or you are not clear about this? Or what's your question?
Yeah. So is that the ultimate state? Because to watch, you have reached that ultimate state of not slipping down, no? Because you have moved higher.
Actually, when you are in that state of consciousness, you need to evolve through, for example, yogi, Buddha, Sthit Pragya, Jivan Mukta, Satchidananda Atma. So I'm not changing the stages of realization. For example, a mumukshu may not be in consciousness. A jigyasu may not be in consciousness. A jnani may not be in consciousness. But if you're becoming a yogi, the moment you're a yogi, yoga can only happen when you're in consciousness. You agree? Without consciousness cannot be yoga. The yoga
goes, no? So for us now, but for us, like yoga, you are in yoga, you are in bhoga. Like, but when you are a sakshi bhav mein aayenge, to kabhi wapas nahi aayenge, na?
नहीं वापस आ सकता है ना कभी today sometime you may be sometime you're Krishna, sometimes you're Krishna.
No, I'm talking about your state.
No, in my state,
I don't understand.
No, my state also I can lose with this observe. I can lose.
Then my second question, because I want to take the analogy which you gave of the beggar sitting on gold. And just like that, we are sitting on our consciousness itself, but we don't realize.
That is beggar sitting on gold is avidya.
That is our avidya is we are not realizing, no, we are the divine soul or consciousness.
But that is because why? Because we are in mind state. Mind is avidya, ignorance. Mind is not letting us go to consciousness. In consciousness, there will be contemplation. In contemplation, we said there will be realization. What realization? There is no mind. Ego is enlightened. Soul consciousness. All this happens in consciousness. Why do I tell you all to come on this call every day? Coming on this call every day means that you are committing 1 hour to this consciousness every day. You agree when people are on this call, very difficult to be distracted in this call. Correct? People have to pay full consciousness in this call. So it evolves, Krishna. In the consciousness journey also, it keeps on evolving till such time that's why I had one more session on Monday. What's the session? I'm saying samadhi. I've never spoken samadhi properly. I don't we've had a session, maybe one Friday we might have had one session on samadhi. I'm not sure. Zoom session have we had on samadhi? But yeah.
So the question I had was, see, we are trying to understand all this consciousness. I say consciousness is only one, but you say maybe the different levels of awareness, perhaps. But why is it for me to be Krishna is the easiest thing I can do. Nobody has to remind me, look, you are Krishna. But for me to be Krishna, it needs efforts.
Because so Krishna is coming as body, mind, ego. Krishna has no effort. You're naturally so Krishna. Can you be Raji? Can you be
No, what I'm trying to tell you now, you are telling us I am not that I want to remove this false identity and come to that truth.
Sorry. I got somebody trying to attack the call. Please repeat.
Yeah, because now the entire, the purpose of coming to this call is I am living with a false identity. Now you are telling us you are not that Krishna. You are so that is not coming easy. If that is the truth, it should buy.
It's not coming easy because that is the whole purpose of life. That's not coming easy because actually, can you believe, Krishna, 8 billion people in this world are all God. Yes. 8 billion. You, as I'm talking to you, do you think I'm a mad person talking or you understand clearly?
No.
Now, 8 billion people, how they will ever realize we are all God? It's not easy. And that is why we have come to this world with mind and ego, me carrying karma with the physical body, with 5 sense organs, having wanting sense gratification. And we have to be able to leave all this and be able to evolve, go beyond mind, go beyond ego, get into that soul realization, then be in yoga, then be with pep, then that's why today we are talking so deeply on this subject. But all I'm telling you is, it needs an effort to be in Krishna. It needs no effort to be Krishna, because that is a free gift to you. You did nothing. One day, you did not know you became Krishna one day, correct? But to be Krishna, you need to be Mumukshu, you need to be Jigyasu, you need to be Jnani, you need to be, for example, many of my friends, they will come, they will say, chalo yaar, abhi aaj hum tash khelte hain yaar, tash khelte. Can you imagine me sitting and playing tash? Is it possible for me to play tash? How I can play tash? Can't play. Cannot play. If somebody tells me, kisi ki shaadi ke liye chalo, 1 hour be the wedding, hold a glass in your hand, hold a drink in your hand, I cannot do. Because when you're in consciousness, you cannot do nonsense. Cannot do. I hope I give you different analogies, but are you relatively clear?
Yeah.
So our effort, Krishna, that's why BBC, that's why Still the Mind, Kill the Mind. I'm trying to still make this band for you all. BBC, Bring Back Consciousness, this or that. I'm trying to make these, at least these friendship bands I'm trying to make. So the challenge is, I'm telling you, last few weeks, somebody tried to steal my peace. I mean, steal means in a lousy way. But only way for me to have sanity and was able to solve the problem was only to be in consciousness. Because I was in consciousness, I was able to solve the problem like this. If I was not in consciousness, I would never solve the problem. I would be so disturbed. So I'm telling you that, and that's why I have got one last answer which none of you have given, which was what I started this call with, but nobody has come with that answer. I would like to give it if I have time. Rumataji, thank you, Krishna. Rumataji and Siba again. What was the name of that Manjais? Samia. Yes, Rumataji. Unmute Rumataji. Rumataji, unmute कीजिए.
Yes, Pranam Guruji, Shivoham.
प्रणाम. बोलिए.
Guruji, where we are, consciousness makes us spiritual.
वाह, वो तो है सोल, वो आ गया सोल रियलाइजेशन. When you are in consciousness, there is a soul realization. You are the divine spirit. You are the soul. I added that word. Krishna had given realization, लेकिन मैंने उसको एक add on कर दिया. Soul realization.
Okay, Guruji.
Think good, Mother. Siba, anything more to add? Siba. नहीं तो will. Navjot.
Guruji, I asked you that we can feel the heartbeat, we can feel the every tingling sensation, everything, Guruji. That state is the witness state. You said that it is a state where there are thoughts. But this is not the thought, na Guruji. That is a state of witness, observer.
तो क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप, या क्या पूछना चाहते हैं?
तो मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, तो ऑब्जर्व, दृष्टा भाव, मतलब साक्षी भाव में रहना भी
सेम है ना शिवा, सेम, वही तो कॉन्शियसनेस है ना शिवा.
Guruji, at that time there are no thoughts, only we are observing our body.
क्यों तुम बार बार बोलती है? थॉट्स है ना, कॉन्शियसनेस में थॉट आएगा, माइंड नहीं है. थॉट तो आएगा.
But that is not the, that is thought, Guruji. See,
अगर थॉट नहीं आएगा तो डिस्क्रिमिनेट कौन करेगा?
तो ऑब्जर्विंग कर रहे हैं ना गुरुजी, वी आर जस्ट.
अरे ऑब्जर्विंग करने के टाइम में भी थॉट आएगा ना. When you're observing as a साक्षी, also कुछ तो कुछ होगा. कोई पंछी उड़ेगा, कोई मछली तो तैर करेगी. There will be something happening. You're observing. Thought will not go. Thought will be there. Will and Yogini. We have got few minutes left. 7 minutes. Will, Yogini, Navjot, Rekha, Prakash, Rajanand, Saroja, Gaurav. And Gaurav is last. Nobody after Gaurav. Will.
I'd like to discuss the issue of the effect on society, because it has a direct effect on society. First of all, in consciousness, you look attractive. You look nice to look at. Someone in consciousness is attractive to other people, so it's an advantage to them. Secondly, someone in consciousness, I think, is a kind of healing influence on society. He kind of directly heals. I can't really explain it, but I know that if the consciousness is healing, now you could include that under some other thing, I don't know. The third thing is someone in consciousness is also going to attract other people to God. You are like you become a proper ambassador. You want to be an ambassador, you have to be attractive to people. Your charisma, they use the word charisma, comes from consciousness. So
good points. But
someone in consciousness has a very good effect on society. Society likes these people.
What you say is all good, but they don't beat your first 2 points. So I'm retaining your first 2 points with your permission. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You're giving 2 dynamic points today. Thanks, Will. We have 5 minutes to go. Yogini, Navjot, quickly, please. We have only 5 minutes.
Sure, sir.
Sure.
So I just wanted to say that name change is a game changer, which always keeps you in soul consciousness. So when you are in soul consciousness, automatically, like, there is no chance that you will fall to the boga state.
No doubt. But this is name changer to come into consciousness. But today we are saying what are the benefits of being in consciousness. Okay. So your point is correct, but it is before coming into consciousness. Navjot. Navjot.
Sir, I've got quite a lot of things to share. So if there is time, maybe I'll end the call.
You want, you cannot end the call. There's 7 more people after you. So you want to quickly tell something, or you will come tomorrow earlier and speak?
I'll come tomorrow then.
Then please come at 8 o'clock so I can give you good time to speak.
Okay, thank
अभी
you.
आज कुछ बोलना है brief में या कुछ आज brief में कुछ नहीं
No,
बोलना
it will take it's going to take some time. Other people have
So पक्का
questions.
tomorrow you must come on the call, okay?
Okay.
Rekha, Parvani, Sip, Rajananda, Saroja, Gaurav, and I see Krishna wanting to say something. Okay, Rekha.
Shubham, AiR.
Shivam.
In consciousness, I realized Prabhu Satya Jag Mithya. It's
already there, Rekha. It's already there.
Yeah. This is what.
Okay. It's the same Samyas. Come on. No. Okay. Sip, Prakash, Rajanand, Saroja, Gaurav, and Krishna.
Namaste, Guru.
Namaste.
The voice of Sip, so it reverberates always.
Huh? There's no reverb coming to it, but your sound is low. Bolo.
I think that it's reverberating always. So you said
No, today there's no reverberating. You've done some jugaad. Tell me.
Because we are in consciousness, we realize this whole thing is Maya Leela. We lose the fear of death, and this is the real secret of happiness. Source of happiness.
So I think it comes under that realization point. Krishna said, if you realize not 1 point, you realize 30 points, 40 points. We are not the soul, we are the soul, we are the immortal soul, I will never die. All this realization comes with Krishna's point realization, which we added, we put what do you call that? We're riding the back with soul. Okay, so you're right. Good point. Rajanand. Without consciousness, there can be no enlightenment. What Prakash said. Impossible. Rajanand, Sarojanand. Rajanand, Sarojanand. Gaurav, Krishna. Unmute please. आपका unmute button नहीं हो रहा है. Rajanand, Sarojanand. Rajanand, आपका button नहीं दब रहा है. Please speak, Sarojanand. Rajanand, please check. Please unmute Rajanand. Yes, Sarojanand.
Sure, Guruji. I think when we are in consciousness, we will know the oneness of the whole universe, that we are only oneness experience we get.
That's why that point is covered as SLS, seeing Sip in all, loving Sip in all, serving Sip in all.
And we can be in Sthita Prajna as a witness.
That's when we said we can activate the intellect and discriminate. Points are correct, but they are coming, they are benefiting from it. We have finished 9 points, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Rajanand, if you can come, otherwise Gaurav. Keep Rajanand unmuted. आपका unmute नहीं हो रहा है. You want to log out and log in because आपका unmute नहीं हो रहा है. Gaurav and Krishna.
Pranam Guruji. Sir, quick question on this consciousness. So my parents are very old and every day I'm playing cards with them. But if I'm in consciousness, I can still play as long as I don't enjoy my victory, or no at all, no playing cards at all.
No. If you're in consciousness, you can even be dancing in the disco. If I am in the consciousness, Prabhuji, I am dancing, but I'm thinking of you, my Prabhuji. What is the problem?
Got it.
But the problem, chances are you will lose consciousness in a matter of 30 seconds.
Yes.
If you are playing cards and you have their parents start talking to you, your neighbor, पता है ये उसने आज ये आया, फिर पता है क्या उसको कुत्ते का हाथ काट दिया, कुत्ते का हाथ काट दिया, क्यों का finish, you're gone into mind state.
Right.
Therefore, the importance of trying to be in consciousness. Last, Krishna. I don't know if Rajan is back, but Krishna.
I don't know whether it's already added. Only in consciousness you can live like a kamal ka phool jaisa. In the world, but not of the world.
कमल का फूल जैसे झील में ना डूबता है, योगी भी माया में ना डूबता. So when you're a yogi, you don't be a bhogi. When you're kamal ka phool, you're not thinking in bhoga. I had a point, I don't know whether it's covered or not. My first point was, it is only in consciousness that you can choose your thought. Only in conscious, not discriminate. I'm putting this as the 10th point. And this was the only point I had when I gave this call. Sip gave me this point. Only in consciousness we can pick and choose our thought. There are 50 thoughts. I can pick and choose my thought. So I'm adding this as a 10th point. You can choose your thought, not discriminate your thought, not discriminate good or bad, right or bad, white, black or white, wrong or right. No, but you can choose. You can choose not only pep thought, but you can choose a thought of compassion. You can choose a thought of godliness. You can choose a thought of faith. You can choose a thought of anything. You can choose, therefore, not only choose a thought, you can choose your thought, your feeling, your action, your habit, your character, your destiny. So I'm telling you, you can choose the entire thought process. You can choose the thought process. Thought, feeling, action, habit, character, and destiny. Only in consciousness. Without consciousness, you cannot control your destiny. But in consciousness, you can control your destiny. Thought, feeling, action, habit, character, and destiny. If Rajanand has got, his system has got consciousness, then he will unmute. Otherwise, tomorrow. हो रहा है आपका unmute? मैं क्या करूं साहब, आपका अनम्यूट नहीं होगा तो आई एम हेल्पलेस. दिस इज जस्ट लाइक समबडी टेलिंग मुझ में कॉन्शियसनेस है, मैं किसी और का कॉन्शियसनेस जगा सकता हूं, किसी और का मैं आपको अनम्यूट नहीं कर सकता, इधर से मैं आपको अनम्यूट नहीं कर सकता. So my dear friends, interesting conversation today, and I hope Monday also will be an interesting conversation. But whatever you have learned, tomorrow is an open air session, and then Monday, Tuesday we have got Wednesday Mahashivratri. There is no session. So remember, on Wednesday there's no session, but maybe on Thursday we will have a beginner session. So we will, because I'll be a little groggy on Thursday. So Thursday we will have a beginner session. I'm making note of this. And Tuesday we will have a topic, but Monday it's on samadhi. It's all continuing. We spoke of two topics yesterday. We spoke, can we reach a state where there will be no thoughts? Why consciousness is important. I told the 10th point is we can choose our thoughts. Let's put the 10 points together in 30 seconds. Why is consciousness so important? One, because it's a state where there's no mind. Two, it's a state where you can activate your intellect and discriminate. Three, it's a state where you can have soul realization. Four, it's a state where you have Satchidanand. Five, it's a state of pep. Six, it's a state where you can be in yoga. Seventh, it's a state where an ego is enlightened. Eight, it's a state where you transcend karma. Ninth, it's a state where you can see God in all, love God in all, serve God in all. And then you can choose your thoughts, feeling, action. I lost it a little bit, but I thought, so remember one thing, when you're in consciousness, you can also take charge of your memory. You can actually decide, you can not only, in memory there are two aspects, what you register and what you recall. Memory has two parts. One you save and one you retrieve. And I'm not adding it as the 11th point, but it probably becomes a discussion for some other day, how we can save in our memory and how we can recall. With folded hands, I bow down to you.